Hey guys, what's up? It's Jay. Take 4 of my re-intro to the channel, my 3-month on Teed update, and changes video, as well as socially transitioning in the workplace. I'm going to start with a real quick introduction. I'm 28 years old. I'm from New Jersey. I am on T for 3 months. I love any type of animal, as long as it's soft and fluffy. I love animals. I love sports. Any type of sport, I love it. Um, Including weight training, weightlifting. I love that kind of stuff too. I'm in the gym 4 days a week, and it's like a completely different person. Okay, checkup. My checkup was interesting. Um, we talked about changes, any changes in moods, behavior, etc., etc. Um, the first change he said that he noticed right off the bat was my voice. And as I said, this is a re-intro to the channel, so I deleted all my old videos. Um, so you won't necessarily be able to see um, what my voice sounded like pre-T. Um, I I could try to force it down a little bit, but it hurts for me to force my voice down. So what I just did actually really freaking hurt. Um, so 3 months on T, body hair everywhere, including my hands, which is kind of gross, kind of gnarly. Um, Stomach, happy trail, some facial hair, mustache is starting to come in, at least thin. It's like a pencil thin mustache right now, but I like it. Um, Sideburns somewhat, some on my chin. Uh, Breaking out a little bit when it comes to acne, but not a lot. What else? Muscle changes. A lot as far as muscle growth and being on T. My muscles are fucking massive. And I'll edit that out because I know we're not supposed to curse on YouTube. My muscles are freaking massive. Um, my muscle tone has definitely gotten a lot more noticeable. Um, so yeah, that's it for changes. As of right now, the voice, some facial hair. My hairline is still the same, thankfully. You'll notice the scar on my nose. I fell down a flight of stairs, broke my nose, got 4 stitches, and I have a can still see somewhat the residual scar right here. Um, from that fall. So without further ado, let's get to the main topic of the video, transitioning in the workplace. Now, I know a lot of guys have said horror stories of getting fired for being transgender as soon as they come out, discrimination, workplace people outing them, etc., etc. And, I wish I could say that that was a problem for me. And it wasn't. I was starting to come out when I was 23, where I worked, so 5 years ago. What held me back as far as medically transitioning until this year was I was scared. I didn't know what T would do. I didn't know the side effects, mood swings, and such. I still have mood swings, but the doctor I see is really good about it. He actually said that if the mood swings don't even out, then we'll don't stop really, then we'll look into increasing my dose. He said he thinks, based on changes alone, that I'm probably metabolizing T a lot faster than most guys. So that might be why things change so much, I guess, faster for me. Um, so yeah, that's that as far as what the doctor said as far as like what we if we have to will. Sorry, my computer's on my lap. So it's if it moves, I apologize. Um, so he said if we have to, once we get my blood work back, we'll know, if we have to even out the dose or up the dose or lower it, whatever. Um, so as far as transitioning in the workplace, I was coming out at 23, and I had done the research. I had actually found a lot of YouTube channels. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't active anymore. Um, Domino AJ was one. Um, It's Me Parker was one. there were a lot of trans guys that I followed at the time because I didn't know what it was to be transgender. And the term lesbian never really fit to me. So I started socially transitioning at 23. At least, coming out and saying, hey, I'm really confused about this. This might be what I am. Can you just, for now, not pronoun me? It wasn't until I was 25 that I really um, started wanting to not only medically transition, but also to be out at work. I went to HR about 2 or 3 years ago, and at that point, they weren't gonna let me have a name tag that said my preferred name. Um, and I went back and forth with them for about a year and a half until I finally decided, you know what, I'm leaving the company. I left the company, came back. Um, I was already out to the department I went into, so and I was out because somebody. I'm not gonna say I never experienced somebody outing me because I have. One of my former friends, actually, we're not really friends anymore because of the whole thing. She outed me, and I got really upset. I didn't have the guts back then to say how upset I was, but I didn't think it was her place to tell people that I was transgender and that I was unhappy in the department I was in because nobody respected me. Um, so that's not a problem anymore. Obviously, the department I'm in now respects me, but it really sucks that the way it had to come about was me being outed by somebody who didn't have my permission to out me. Um, and I know she still subscribes to this channel, so I'm gonna tell you right now. This is out to her. Don't be mad at me for posting this because this is how I felt since you outed me, and it hurt me greatly, and I don't think you should have done it. I should have been allowed to do it on my time without anybody else's interruption. So that's all I have to say on that topic about coworkers outing you. So what happened was I was in the process of getting promoted last year in the department I went into, and now at that point everybody had already known. It was common knowledge. This employee is transgender. It was common knowledge. The whole department knew. So it goes to when I was getting promoted. One of my full times, he comes up to me. He said, "We went to HR on your behalf. We said this is what we're doing. This is what we want to do." They said, "Okay, here's your name tag." Now at that point, they handed me a name tag and it said Jason and supervisor. I lost my shit. That day, I lost it. I I was a kid in a candy store. I was so happy. Um, and I was confused. I said, will HR say anything? Will they get mad at me? Will blah blah blah? And they were like, no, this was done with their permission. And I was surprised because I didn't expect it to be done with their permission. Um, because I was always under the impression, hey, we can't do this. And to find out later this season when I went to talk to somebody about it, I said, why did you guys do this for me? Wasn't it risky? And they said, no, that department wanted to side with you. And that kind of made my life a lot better because I was like, oh, so it wasn't the department that I had held a grudge against for the last 2 years because I thought they were treating me unfairly. It was this department said, who cares? You're who you are. We like you for you. This is who you are. That you're a great employee. You work hard. This is who you are. And I was kind of like, I'm not even gonna lie. I was confused. I was like, how did this happen? And come around full circle this season. I'm getting ready for the season to start, and I make the decision at the beginning of the middle of April. I'm going to medically transition. I have the support system I need. I have an amazing girlfriend, amazing friends. Let's do this. So I started socially transitioning at work, um, on a larger scale, where I blatantly told whoever needed to know look, this is what I'm doing, this is what's going on, this is this, and I got so much support um, from the department as a whole, even from people outside of the department. I got so much support, um, support from um, human resources when they found out, support on a work trip that I did up to Massachusetts this summer or in April. I got so much support from their HR, so much support company wide from what I've dealt with so far this year, that I was blown away. And it made me really see that I want to stay working for the company. Things might not always be perfect, but to be able to transition and just feel like I can be myself and nobody's going to judge me, and I can't, and nobody's going to treat me like a leper. It was a blessing. Um, So that's it as far as, socially transitioning at work. It was a lot easier than I expected. Now that I'm medically transitioning, I'm not getting misgendered as much because my voice is deeper. I am getting some facial hair. I do carry myself differently. I look a lot more masculine because I do work out a lot. So that's another thing. Like, I'm not getting misgendered all the time. I was misgendered recently and it sucked, but I was able to deal with it because, in all honesty, it's not somebody I deal with every day, so it doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, that's about it. I'll probably post another video in a couple weeks, depending on how things go. Or I'll post a video next month when I hit my 4-month mark on November 19th. For now, peace.